Hello guys, it's Dale. It's June 14th, 25. I'm 3 days in on my liquid radiation treatment. Just wanted to say hi, and we're going to start on a little project here. See? I'm radioactive. Don't jump out of the camera and touch me. After today it tapers way down. My buddy Kurt's about 7 feet from me, 8 feet. He's safe. Yeah, if you get within a couple feet, it's like getting, I don't know, 2-3 x-rays. But it'll start tapering way off. It's been not fun. Feel like crap and not sleeping too good. But I rest in the house, don't feel any better. So I'm going to start on the clutch, Brock's clutch today. Conversion, H2 conversion in this thing. So, what else was I going to tell you about it? Brain dead right now as far as that goes. Yeah, so basically we're just soldiering along, and my stomach was all screwed up, but it's slowly getting better. It feels better today, and so on. So hey, just got to keep rolling along to do what I can do. So anyway, this is going to be part 21. Brock's Performance 2015 H2 complete clutch conversion to take out the ramp style clutch basket and all the clutch assembly and install the normal 6-spring conventional clutch with Brock's from H2. The first year only had that. Then the rest of them had this ramp up thing. And the trouble with the ramp up clutch is, you know, if I hit it just right off the line and get through there, but I can make a good pass, but you can't repeat. The second you try a little harder, it does a little bunny hop and a wheelie, and it's nothing to do with your clutch hand. It starts to lock in. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to put a link. I'm not going to show you pulling the cover off, prepping the gasket surface and all that, because I already did that in my ZH2 part 11 Brock's clutch springs in this. So go back and refer to part 11 to pull it down and get to the point we're going to start at. So I already got the oil drained out. It's in a container, only has 12 passes on it. It's going to go right back in when we're all done. This may be a part 1 and 2 series, depending on how I feel today. I'm not sure what's going to happen. So anyway, let me get it pulled apart and cover off, and when I get started on it, we'll make the next clip. Okay guys, I got the cover off. I got the gasket surface cleaned up again. You know, it wasn't as bad as the first time around, but the cover stuck pretty good. But that's beside the point. Let me take you over here. I've opened up the complete 2015 H2 conversion from Brock, which is all the factory Kawasaki parts. So you're getting 2 additional fibers, 3 additional steels, a spacer, the clutch hub nut, these 2 spring thingies. I wrote the last part number. There's 2 ending in 78 and 79. They're actually rotated different. If you line them up, this tab's in a different spot. I have no idea how this goes together yet. You got 6 standoffs that are going to thread into the back of this here, the inner hub. Here is your ramps for your slipper clutch. Here's the inner hub. These obviously bolt into this somehow, and then these have threaded holes on the end, which I assume these 6 bolts, they're factory Kawasaki bolts, also thread in to pull the springs down in the outer hat. Okay, thing is, when you order this, you also get all the stock Kawasaki parts, the springs, the upper retainer, you know, upper hat for the stock spring, which I'm not going to use at all. So that was an expense I really didn't expect, but I understand you may have to do that for guys that want a stock spring setup. This is the conversion for a ZH2 and H2. This eliminates the slipper. I think this takes up the space. We'll see once we get it apart and learn how this whole thing works. There's another plate that goes in there. and it probably goes against that with the nut, and it allows to bypass, it locks down the plate so you don't get the slipper clutch that can also cause problems launching and different things. So yeah, it looks like I probably use the inner basket portion where these fibers have the ears on them to lock into that side, and here's your new inner. So probably uses the same ZH2 mine in this kit, but I got to look at the PDF for the instructions and still on the factory service manual of a 15 H2. And Brock, I think, has, he says he does, has, yeah, see, visit blogs, brockperformance.com/instructions. Hopefully it's on here. I'm going to go take a look at this when I go in the house and eat my lunch. I'm already pretty tired out, so let's see how far I get. But here's the parts laid out, and just wanted to go over that with you, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I got the whole bike cleaned up. This is the next day. I got to do little 3-hour spurts because I'm so tired, don't feel good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just do a little clip here of prepping the inner hub that the rear plates are going to go against. These little standoffs have to go in here. You want to use a little bit of medium thread lock, like a blue Loctite on these. Not a really good way to hang on this in the vise or anything. You don't want to, these are expensive parts. These are plenty strong, 8mm with this solid shaft. And so these are already done. I didn't want to make this real long because everything turns into long. So I go like this, put a little bit of blue Loctite, thread this baby in. Okay, and what I did first is I put my electric drill motor gun, got half throttle on low, and I went around them and just bottomed it. Okay, so there's no wiggle room. And then you can go ahead and 18 foot-pounds is what you want. Okay, got a small little pry bar. I put it all the way against this flange right here, with the teeth in it. And that way the pry bar is not up here putting leverage on them. They're all the way bottom. And I looked at it, I went real easy working my way up, and they don't seem to flex whatsoever. So I already did the other ones, but of course now I forgot which one I just did. So this is how I did it. And this is how you should do it. Double check myself. (15, 16, 17, 18). 11mm socket. I'd probably use a 6-point so you don't round these off. And let's just go over them. You have to be down here and make sure this is flat. Go real easy so the thing doesn't get kittywampus. Now you can leave this in the same spot. Just go ahead and use hang on, my desk. Go ahead and use the same one. You don't have to keep moving it on different ones. The pry bar, if you're all set up and you're comfortable. See, 18, I did 15 at first. It doesn't even move. I can't talk to you guys. I can't look at the camera. See, they don't even flex. So you're not going to bend them or hurt them. Just make sure that your pry bar in between here is flat against that snout on the hat. Okay? I'd make 2 rounds. There's 6 bolts, so just count them. 6 points a little tough because you got to get the socket. Okay. So now your inner rear hub. is prepped. That's ready to assemble. So this part's done. All right, guys, I got it on a tripod because I'm going to do some of this by myself. So I just got it on here so I'm not getting in the way. I already pulled the outer hat off. These are the longer springs I had in it from Brock with the stock clutch. Yeah, you'll have the softer springs, but they came off fine. So I already got this off. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this. If I run into a little problem, I'll kind of break into the video and I'll stop and then I'll show you what I did. So I don't want this, you know, it's going to be a long video anyway. So here's your outer cover, and in here is your pusher, and then there's a little needle bearing, see, that goes on here. It's just stuck in with oil. I'm going to leave it there, but see here, here's an example of the ramps. Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to turn that screen so I can see what I'm showing you. Yeah. Here's the ramp, see? So that's why it gets a certain RPM and letting the clutch out. It's ramping up. And then, set this down. Then, there's ramps here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, shit. Sorry. Drop my little pusher. I don't want to be a pusher. I want to try to be that. Yeah, never pull on the clutch over when you got this thing apart. You'll have a bad day. So in here is also the ramp, the ramps that mate to that. Lets it do its thing here in the hub. So now, I think what we're going to do is go ahead and I think while the clutch is in there, I'll go ahead and break that nut loose and maybe pull it off as assembly and then pull the plates out. Could be a better deal so it doesn't spin in the basket, possibly with the ears. Yeah, I think let's do that. Let's at least take this nut off. Then I might take the plates out that way or whatever. Anyway, this is a 27 millimeter. Let me shut the camera off for just a second. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I took the first 3 plates out so they won't fall on the floor. Used a little bit of brake clean and cleaned the 2 spots where I have some Gorilla Tape over that right there so the rest of the plates can't fall off on the floor. So what I'm going to use is a 27 millimeter 6-point socket and see if we can just buzz the nut right off with my 1/2-inch air impact gun. I wouldn't say that buzzed right off, but it did the job, and it doesn't hurt anything doing it that way. Hard to hang on to it. You don't want to stuff rags between the crank. It's in neutral, but then these act as a, you know, in the ears here with all the rest of the plates, not hurting anything. It's trying to turn the motor over, but as you saw, it eventually broke it loose. Now when we put it back together, that's a whole different method we're going to do it. So, okay. So now we're going to get rid of this gooey tape. Did its job. Good idea. And we're going to pull all these plates out. I don't know if you can see me. Turn my screen around so I can see myself. Yeah, I'm going to use a couple scribes. Where are you? A couple scribes. This is so squirrely, I swear to God. Oh, let's go the wrong way. See them? They both look like this, okay? There you go. Get all the plates pulled out, and then I'll stack them in the same exact order came out of the engine. So I could pull the whole basket off now, but I don't want to do that yet. I'm gonna go the other route, and I'll see how that goes, and then I'll get back with you on the camera. Okay? All right, guys, I got the whole stack height out. They all look perfect. The last couple, they're not blued on the steels. There's a little mark on them about this wide. Just a little bit different look. I think that's when the clutch was doing the little bunny hop, the run, run, you know, when it take off sometimes. But they're absolutely perfect. I'm glad about that. No bluing, nothing weird. So I got the whole stack height out. Remember, this is the ZH2 stack height, not an H2. And in the very back, there's two little dampening springs, washers, that go against the steel, the first steel plate. The thin fiber is first against the back hub, on the stock hub here, but on the inside, these little washer type steel. I want to show you this because it's a cone shape. Put tension on it. See it, Kurt? It's at an angle. Okay? The angle goes towards the inside, like this angle. Okay? Just pay attention to that is all I'm saying. You'll see what I mean if you're taking one of these apart. So I'm going to put this on, exactly how it came apart. And not a bad idea to also take a picture. I'm going to do that in a minute. And then there's another one in here that, let me get out of here and I'll show you. And I think it's just I think it's a little flat one that this goes against and rides against. So let me get that out of here and I'll show it to you. Okay guys, so I got the rear little flat steel spacer that's against the inner smooth clutch plate hub. Everything's aluminum except for this, so it's stuck on with oil and you can't even get a pick behind it. So take a real powerful magnet and just go in there and bink, and it grabs it. You get it, let it wiggle out like this. Other side, you can walk it out until you can grab it. But this one is totally flat. Okay, this one is not cupped or tapered. So I'm still putting them in order. So now let's go ahead and pull the ZH2 center hub off. It's got a little spacer with splines in it that go onto the splines of the shaft. This one, see how it's perfectly round, is not going to be used with Brock's conversion. The H2, I'll show you that when we're assembling. It's totally different. For a little machine washer, he puts thick washer to get rid of the slipper clutch. Alright, so here's your thrust washer, like most motors. I'll put that right back on here, not disturb anything. Here is your, am I in the right spot, Kurt? Here's your ramps that cause the runt when you try to take off. Pretty severe ramps, huh? So I'm just going to set this all down right here. Don't pull out on this clutch hub at all. This doesn't come with Brock's kit. I checked the part numbers on Microfiche. This is the exact same part number as an H2. So anyway, don't pull out on it. Don't worry. That way you don't have to worry about any gears disengaging. Just don't screw with it. Okay? All right. Let me think about how I'm going to explain to you all the different plates and stuff, and we'll go from there next. All right, guys. So we have the inner hub, the inner plate hub, I'm calling it. We got these standoffs already installed that we torqued 18 foot-pounds with a little blue Loctite. So this still has the slipper clutch ramps. All right, and you've got to get these little guys and these little guys. So I'm probably out of sync now. If you don't get them right, it ain't going to go together right anyway. I happen to hit it. So when you get it right, if it's wrong, you're going to have that stand up like that. It's going to be hitting on it. You want it to completely drop in flush right here. Okay? Now, the bike, I checked all the part numbers. The hub, the bearing, and this thick thrust washer against the needle bearing is the same on a ZH2 and the H2. So now, I'm not going to bolt everything in yet, but we can go ahead and install. There's nothing else that goes in between here. Okay? We can go ahead and install this on the shaft. Or at least try to. I haven't done it yet. There we go. Okay, and we'll just let that sit there for now, and then we'll do the next step, which I've got to kind of look at Brock's instructions, which he uses the different, not this one, but the one from an H2 that has a curve in it and then a spacer. And what that does is it pushes this all down and locks it. So the only play you got is this little bit of run out in the part, right? But it locks it and pushes it down and clamps it with the nut, so you have no more slipper clutch. That also affects, like on the Busa, makes it off the line. So, okay, I have everything open over there. The factory service manual, some of Brock's stuff, but it's a mix match of everything as far as the information. So I'm kind of figuring it out as I'm going along. But, okay, let me do the next step and just check it, and then I'll show you. Alright guys, with the clutch hub fully seated against the back hub, the inner hub, the back hub here, you know, got that in right, remember? These have been Loctite at 18 foot-pounds. Slide this on, and there's about a 1/4 inch of spline sticking out. So, they call this torque limiting spring. There's 4 of these. This is part of the slipper clutch. You don't use these with Brock's modification to get rid of the slipper clutch. Okay, so these just set aside. You bought them, you own them, put them away. Okay, so now if you have an H2, this is the original collar with splines. It goes on the shaft. This is Brock's spacer. It's going to lock down that hub from climbing. Okay, it will no longer climb up for the slipper clutch. I dinked around, put it together wrong, still had a little bit of play. So if you do that, you got it on the wrong side. So how this goes is this unit, the larger flat goes into Brock's spacer. This larger area here with the lip in it goes inward to clear the inner hub. So this is when you put this in here, this is going to locate it and keep it straight. And then you have the proper engagement thread sticking out. I used my old nut and I snugged it down, and it's perfect. If you put this on the wrong side, upside down, you snug the nut, you still got an 1/8 inch of this coming in and out. Stop, that's wrong. Like I say, there's no real instructions. He has it, it shows that. I kind of messed up, but the factory manual's no good for this at all. So anyway, you can get this in together like this if you want all together. It might fall off of the spacer. But see, it goes like that, and there's Brock's logo, and this is flush against it, and then it doesn't go all the way down on these, and get the splines on this aren't flush with the shaft. It's probably 1/8 of an inch, but there's no play, okay? So then you got to use a brand new Kawasaki nut. It has 1, 2, 3 little flat areas, probably on the last thread or two. That's your not nylock, but that's your locking mechanism. No Loctite needed. Just make sure you got to use a brand new one. It actually comes with his kit. But anyway, just make sure everything's clean and dry. and get this on here. Okay, and then this is 27mm socket, okay? And see, when you get down to the last couple threads, it's gonna start locking up, see? And I still got play, okay? I already tested this. I had this on the wrong side, and then it just still had some wiggle room. So now, stay here, Kurt. I have these I've bought from my other Suzukis. These are on a lot of bikes. Bought this pair from K&L Supply. They make all kinds of tools. They have a nice little taper on here, and it fits into these just really nice. You got to have something like this. Don't get on there and hammer it home with a impact wrench with a bunch of rags. I mean, you could do that, but that's really being a hack. You want this on there. You want it fitting perfectly, and you basically it's 96 foot-pounds on the nut. So what I found is you don't go all the way into the radius. Stay out about 1/4 inch, and you still got, geez, slightly over 1 inch of engagement into the teeth here. And just, I already put it on and tested it. This is steel. You're not going to really deform it, but yeah, don't get carried away. That's enough. And I have it located here where it's going to hit on my brake lever, and I probably just hang on to it. So what we're going to do first, let's use my 1/2 inch extended ratchet. I got a 27mm on here, and let's just hand snug it past the locking mechanism in the last threads to get that at least snugged. Okay, the nut, you got to be careful. You know, it's pretty shallow, so you could really have a knuckle buster, and you don't want to screw the head of the nut up. So that's snugged by hand. Now you can grab the whole thing and see, 0 run out. That's what you want. That means you got this all assembled correctly. So now you got to go like this. Maybe have a buddy hold this so you can use a proper torque wrench. 1/2 inch drive, good quality torque wrench. I got an Icon, a real long one. It's great. Just as good or better than Snap-on. 96 foot-pounds. So go ahead and do that, and then the next step, we got to figure out the whole clutch plate stack height and which ones go where and all that. Right, guys, one other thing. I recommend using a 6.27 on this socket. Maybe have a buddy hold the tool against the brake pedal. That's what my friend Kurt did, so it can't slide off or move. And it's pretty freaking tight. You have to take real small bites on your ratchet, hold straight in on it real comfortably. He was on this side, I was over here, and I just took real small little bites. Finally, 96 foot-pounds. So click, click. Pretty damn tight. You got to be careful this doesn't get kittywampus or do it. It's looking really nice. This is how it's supposed to be. No free play at all. No more ramp. So, okay, that's that. Now let me figure out the stack height because it's all different. Doesn't really say how to do it. Be back. Alright guys, just for reference, what I did is I went into ronairs.com, microfiche, Kawasaki. That's the one I like to use to look up part numbers and reference things. And I've got the 2015 H2 link in my emails. That's what I clicked on here. So that way you can compare what a stock H2 stack is, because it has the part number and it's very confusing, but then it's got the thickness of the plate. Like that plate's 2.3. That means 2.30 millimeters. Okay? So this first one is a, and it's hard to identify on here, okay? Because that can be A or B. So you have to measure what you got. So what I have is I have this on a link and my ZH2 on a link. Then I got Brock's clutch mod on a link and the 2015 PDF factory service manual on a link. put that all on your computers, or you have to print it all, and it's a pain in the ass to try to print it. So if we go over here to the clutch plates, the stack is totally different in my ZH2. It has a much thicker steel. It's got a real narrow one first, but on the H2, it takes this exact part number. This goes on first against the inner hub, that one right there. And that steel is different than on my ZH2. And if you look right here, it's the part number that could be one of those, choice of 3. But see here, plate equals 2.6. So this measures 255, but they're saying it's 2.6. You know, whatever. That's the one. So this goes first, this goes second. Okay, then you have the little spring things that I showed you earlier. Those are they're not in the back anymore. They're between the next plate, then the narrow one. So these fit against it. So let's do one at a time. I'm confident these other two over here are the first two that go on. Then we'll deal with that. But I wanted to show you what I did on my computer, because no one shows this. And if you're doing this job, this is going to be like a lifesaver because of the old dude here. Okay? Alright guys, so I decided to take the two plates out. I have a nice piece of stainless, cleaned my area out, set it down, pulled those out, started making my stack height to see where we end up. I don't have that much adjustment room because most of the steels are the 2.6 millimeter thick that I mentioned. They actually measure to me about 2.55, but whatever. Those are the 2.6 as far as the part number. And then I have 3 that were in my bike that are thicker, that are 2.9, and they measure about 286 or 288. So I started mixing, matching, but putting everything in the right order. It still has, my bike had this little skinny one, only discolored, the very end one. See, my bike had 3 of these skinnier ones that fit on there. That's because it had the other type of clutch. And anyway, so I only had to use one of these. All the steels now are the 2.6, except for this last one on the outside. I've got the 2.9, which is like about a 286. All the larger diameter plates are the same part number. You don't have to worry about that. So I kind of lucked out because they make a range of 2.3, which I don't have, clear up to 2.9 steels. That's how I adjust. That's how you adjust your stack height. So here I've got my, and I can only measure it so good with this, but I measured it a couple times. Yeah, it's supposed to be 58 millimeters. I got 50.71. That's pretty damn sweet. All right, now you convert that to inches, and it's probably going to be around 199. Just depends if I rock or do anything funny. I'm trying to keep it straight and against the plates coming down to be not at an angle. Probably 199. Yeah, look at 199.50. That's awesome. So now I can go ahead and assemble these in the bike. I already have oil on them from coming out of my motor, but I can assemble these on the bike, and I don't have anything to make a higher number because when you put the outer hat on and the springs, it's going to compress those little metal ones a little bit that are dampers just a hair. So any more it's going to be over 2, any less it's going to be under 199. So that's what you end up with. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these installed, and yeah, I'll probably, I might finish it up, not put the cover on yet. Let's see how it goes. Let me move on. Okay guys, I got the first fiber in, the steel, then the 2 little compressors, then the larger OD, That's the only one that goes in here now, the larger OD plate. And I've got a little tupper. I put some oil in so I can just dab my finger in it instead of making a mess. And we'll go ahead and put a teeny bit on the steel. These plates, most of the plates came out of my engine already, so they have oil impregnated in them. It's not that big a deal. The next plate is a brand new and dry, so I never soak them all night. I just do this, like this, put a little oil film on it, okay? And the second you start the engine and you pull the clutch in with it idling, and do that a few times, they're going to have oil on them. So don't get carried away just thinking soaking them all night is necessary. It's not. Been doing it like this my whole life. Works fine. You can, but no advantage. Okay. Okay, you want this there. Okay, already got oil on that one. And the next steel. This is a steel that came out of my bike. I'm going to put a little teeny bit on here. Okay. Still got some oil residue on this steel. Let's put it in. Same one of them came out of my bike. I'll just put a tiny little light film on this one, not too much. Okay, I think you get the drift, so go ahead and put this stack height all together. Okay, and then I don't want to waste camera time, so put the stack height all together, get the last one on there, and then we'll go over putting the outer hat on with the Brock setup. Alright guys, I got all the plates assembled. The stack height's looking pretty nice. There's still the teeth sticking out, and it's going to compress a tiny bit because of the spring washers that are on the second first or second steel. So we're looking pretty good. Here's the brand new H2 outer hat where the springs go in. I put in here already in the inside a thrust washer first, and then the needle bearing. Okay, so now I'm going to slide this in here. I think I'll put the pusher in here. Whoop. I think I'll drop it. Oh, God. Yeah, the pusher is going to go in here to, disengage the clutch. And, I'll redo this. Let's put the needle bearing on the, so it doesn't fall out, on the pusher, and then the thrust washer that goes against that machine surface. Do it this way. Better doing it this way. Alright, now we're going to see how this does. This is even close. Now this is because I have the clutch. It's just been sitting here. Okay? So you want to get this in the proper alignment to the teeth, and you want to, I'll check in the service manual. I don't think there's a marking on here, but there could be. But basically what happened, it happened to me before, is I may crack the bleeder on the other side of the slave cylinder, just barely crack with the hose on it in a little bottle, and then push on this and get a little, push this pusher in a little bit. That walked out on me before when I had my other clutch apart. So let me investigate that a little bit and then I'll be back. Alright guys, the final thing is getting the hat on with Brock's heavy duty race springs and these real nice machined. Here's the spring. Where's the spring? Here's the springs. 6 of those babies. They're not progressively round, they're both the same. So as far as I can tell, they put them on either way. And then there's little hats he makes, which are real nice. Here's the hat portion, and then a collar. Okay? Do something like this. I was able to push the clutch and hold it by hand. I didn't bleed it. I didn't want to. And then you lose fluid. You can have a buddy hold it in. I actually just pushed it in by hand and held it. Luckily, the bolts are long enough they can be out just a hair. But I was able to hold it in tight and get one spring started, then push it and another one straight across. That's the beauty of 6 springs, you know? So set all your springs in there. Okay. Set all your collars in there. Maybe don't do that yet. Do them one at a time. The bolts he puts in the kit are the factory Kawasaki H2 bolt. They're black and they're torqued to 97 inch-pounds, I believe. So see how it goes? It goes in the head of the collar, like that. It's obvious. And the little sleeve centers up the spring real nice, real center. Yeah, Brock says this clutch will hold up to 500 horsepower, and I have a measly 222 or 225, so should be good. I'm not looking for that problem. I'm looking for a clutch that I can feed out and make a normal old guy Dale Walker launch. None of this wah wah wah, you know. I made a few good runs, but it was like 80% rider, 20% luck. I just happened to hit it just right with the stock ramp thing. So just snug all these down evenly. Go kind of kitty cross, right? Always a good thing. Make sure it's all looking good. It's in the little teeth in the back. Perfect. Snug all these down by hand. Lightly snug them. Then use a good quality, either 1/4 inch drive or 3 inch drive, inch-pound wrench, and go 97 or 96 inch-pounds on these bolts. Alright guys, I put the whole clutch together with all Brock springs, snugged it down my hand with my T-handle, didn't over-tighten them, pulled the clutch in. It's got plenty of disengagement, pulled clear to the grip, but you got to be a gorilla to pull it in. It's pretty damn stiff on the lever, real stiff. I know it won't slip, but do you really need that much pressure? I want good clutch control. I don't mind a stiffer clutch lever, but these are pretty darn stout, and I'm a 2-finger, maybe 2 or 3 finger lever, and I got to have that clutch pulled in. I'll smidge off the grip when I start and have control, you know, not fight the clutch lever either. Then I'll be in trouble that way. So luckily it has 6 total springs. Luckily this kit, here's Brock's again with the hat, and I got a whole new set of stock springs and the stock cups that go in the top, the little steel cups. So I've done this a lot. I'm going to stagger 3 stock and 3 of Brock's. I'm not going to put it together yet, but I'm going to go ahead and put it together and snug them and then I'm going to talk to him hopefully tomorrow and see what he thinks about this holding and not slipping. I think it's going to be fine because a stock H2 uses these, and I don't know what a completely stock H2 makes at the rear wheel, but probably close to 220, I think. I don't know. I got to look at rear wheel dyno runs on a stock bike even. So yeah, and they won't be out of balance because they're equally spaced, see? So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back, see how long this video is going to be. This might be two-part series, this video. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to snug these down. It's already 6 o'clock. I went for it all day, but I was on a mission, and we did pretty good. But before I put that on, I'll call him and get his opinion if he thinks. He's probably going to say, no, you should be fine. Because, man, it's a hard lever pull. And I want to be able to have really good throttle and clutch control, okay? So, I'll be back. Okay, guys, the final step you're going to want to do before you start assembling the bike, put the cover on and all that, is check the, pull in the clutch and watch the clutch hat. Make sure you got movement in the clutch hat, disengaging the plates. I did try to get a hold of Brock, but he's not available right now. He's got some stuff going on. And I called one of his guys, and they kind of agree with me that the three stock H2 brand new springs and 3 heavy green should be fine in my bike. You don't know till you go run it whether it's going to slip or not, but I don't think it will. They do make a set of purple springs that are in between, but this still has a pretty darn firm clutch lever compared to the 3 heavy duty springs that was in the last clutch setup. So anyway, let me pull the clutch in and we'll look at this, show you. Alright, so I got my hand on the clutch, fully in, disengaged, see that air gap, and watch the plate. The plate, this is the only place I can, got a pretty good gap. Yeah, that should disengage real nice, it shouldn't hang up, most likely neutral is going to be good, and then full engagement. I got the stack height right on the money, within a half a thou. I don't even get much better than that. So, yeah. So that's that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean the gasket off the cover. I'm going to get the thing assembled, put the motor oil back in it that was brand new, and maybe we'll fire it up and it will at least start it, and we'll run it a little bit and check neutral and make sure it's fine and all that good stuff, and then we'll end the video after that. So let me get to work. For cover assembly, again, go back to my link I'm including in this video also of my clutch spring update part 11 video, and you can see how I prepped the cover and how I stuck the gasket on there, and also torque them to the proper amount, which is, I believe, 106 foot-pounds. But take a look at that, because I was very, anal about it. So, okay, let me get this thing going, and I'll make a finishing little video, maybe firing it up. All right, guys, I got motor oil back in the engine. I've got the case all buttoned up, of course. Went over it a couple times. Torqued the bolts to 105 inch-pounds, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, I fired it up just for a little bit. Let's go ahead and start it up. I'll put the camera on the dash so you can see neutral and first gear and so on. It seems to go in neutral pretty easy. A little harder than stock, not bad. When you creep, you'll be able to do it no problem. But good clutch disengagement. Still got a little off the lever where I pull it in. Still got a little play. It's not like it has to be buried against the grip. That's good. So let me fire it up. Change the camera view, and I'll fire it up for you. You can listen to this beautiful whole shot mini mag. It's right here. Hopefully you can see the dash. Instrument cluster. All right. Okay guys, this is going to be the end of the video, part 21, full Brock performance H2 ZH2 clutch conversion kit in my ZH2 Mr. Gray, the flying brick. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned it. And if you have an H2 or ZH2, this should be very helpful. It's a lot of work doing the videos this long. So please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, please hit the bell, please comment below even just to say hi. I'm battling my cancer, getting liquid radiation. Sorry if I flubbed up a few times, I'm delirious, but stuck with it. So this is going to end the video. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. That's probably going to be at the end of the month if I'm well enough. One more test day. Here we go, new clutch. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. God bless.